Hello and happy New Year's, everybody. I was just on my way to a New Year's Day party with some of my family members this morning, and I was scrolling through Twitter and I kept seeing people talking about a YouTube video from the official Chainlink channel, and so I checked it out, and it was a presentation by Sergey himself in which he talked about all of the progress that Chainlink has made over the past year and also made some major announcements on what Chainlink has planned for next year. And I highly recommend everyone, if you have the time, to go check out this video. I'll leave a link to it in the description of the video, but I have now watched this video twice. It's an hour and a half long, but there's lots of useful information if you have the time. He really breaks down all of the progress that Chainlink has made over the past year. And not just that, but it kind of helps me understand more what Chainlink has done and how it was largely responsible for many of the major innovations that we saw in DeFi over the past year. And it kind of helps me understand more what exactly Chainlink does, and also can give you a pretty good understanding of what Chainlink is looking to do in the future. So if you have the time, again, I recommend you watch that. But some of the highlights that I want to talk about from that video are some major announcements about what Chainlink has for 2022, the biggest of which are staking and the introduction of their Crosschain interoperability protocol, or CCIP.
There are three key initiatives that are being planned for the Chainlink network and that are being planned for the coming year. Those key initiatives are the release of CCIP, the release of staking, and the solidification of Chainlink as an abstraction layer for enterprises.
And while staking is a big deal, I know many people have been anxiously waiting for the ability to stake their Chainlink, but I think the introduction of CCIP will actually be much bigger for the progression of Chainlink and DeFi as a whole. Now, it would be way too time consuming for me to try and cut up all the individual clips of him explaining what it is that CCIP will do for DeFi. I'll play a quick clip for you so that you can get a general idea for it and kind of get a grasp on the scope of what it is that this has to offer.
CCIP is the application of Chainlink's highly secure consensus mechanism that secures over 75 billion and has done that successfully for multiple years to the problem of cross-chain communications, such that it is not just about moving tokens. It is actually about communications. This is the big distinction of what CCIP does. Just implementing the ability to move tokens is really not enough to take our industry into a world of what we call cross-chain smart contracts. This is the third large evolution of how the definition of a smart contract will expand. Where the first evolution, if you'll remember from earlier in the presentation, was going from one contract to two or more. The second evolution was going from multiple contracts on a single chain to those contracts using trust minimized off-chain systems in the form of Oracle networks to acquire data, to acquire computation, to interface with all of those systems reliably. The third large shift and the third large expansion in how smart contracts are going to be defined is the creation of a cross-chain smart contract composition capability. So that you don't just generate a smart contract or a set of contracts on one chain, and that's your smart contract. You can now generate, or you will be able to generate with the emergence of CCIP in this coming year, a smart contract that is actually multiple contracts on multiple chains interoperating with each other. This will be another huge leap, just like the generation of data has been a huge leap for the emergence of DeFi and the generation of random numbers and various off-chain computations in an Oracle network has been a huge improvement for NFTs and gaming. The ability to create cross-chain smart contracts will allow developers and people building smart contracts to utilize multiple different pieces of code on multiple different chains, just like they utilize multiple different pieces of code in multiple different clouds as web developers. They utilize the service and the piece of code that's the best suited piece of code for a task. That is how web applications are built. And what I feel the Chainlink network and the Chainlink ecosystem will be able to do by providing this cross-chain capability will be the emergence of smart contracts into a much more useful format. That format will be the cross-chain smart contract. You will actually have the ability to build smart contract applications the same way that web developers are able to build high-quality web applications. And at the most general level, that's what I think our industry and the Chainlink network and the Chainlink system and we as a community need to really do. We need to get the next million developers coming into the blockchain industry to build the way they are used to building in the web industry. And the way they're used to building in the web industry is very quickly, at a very high quality, and with very cost efficient and easily usable applications. Because you'll be able to use the chain that you want to use for what it's good at. You'll be able to use certain main chains for the security guarantees. You'll be able to use other chains for certain speed or scalability guarantees. And you'll be able to use many other chains essentially as storefronts. You'll have multiple contracts on those chains for getting value from those blockchains users into what will essentially be one large smart contract composed of multiple on-chain contracts and multiple off-chain services, providing both bridging in the form of communication and the ability to get data and the ability to do trust minimized off-chain compute that was previously inaccessible but necessary.
Whether you're a holder of Chainlink, whether you're a developer that utilizes Chainlink or is looking to utilize the smart contract capabilities that they're looking to provide, or whether you're someone who can benefit from these smart contracts that could potentially and are most likely going to be created as a result of CCIP, this is nothing but good news. Seems like CCIP, the ability to create smart contracts on any chain and utilize all of the best functions from separate chains in one contract, or whatever else you could possibly do with the cross-chain interoperability protocol. It seems like this is going to bring Chainlink's vision of smart contracts into fruition. It seems like this is the beginning stages to what Chainlink has envisioned all along. And another thing that seems very exciting is Sergey's focus on making these smart contracts not only easy to use by the people who are looking to utilize these smart contracts, but also making them easy to create. And again, I will have the entire video linked down in the description. I highly suggest everyone go watch it if you have the time. And while you're going down to the description to find the link, maybe consider hitting the like button on this video if you enjoyed, and maybe even subscribing too. I would very much appreciate that. I will see you all on Tuesday for my next video.